Hi guys, today I'm here with an updated foundation routine, or kind of my current face slash look. A lot of these are products I actually traveled with when I went to London and Rome. I will say no makeup touched my face in Rome because it was so hot, but these are all products that I really love, and you may actually roll your eyes at a couple of these because you've heard me mention them so many times, but it's because I truly love them and I trust them all. There are a couple newer products in here, like I switched up my highlighter, my primer, because those are the ones that I play around with, but like my base and everything, those always stay the same for times when I just know I want my makeup to look good. This is a little bit of a lighter coverage look. It's definitely buildable, and as always, customize this routine to your liking, but so long lasting on my skin, and I'll give you a couple tips and tricks along the way as always. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do is prep my skin, and while I was away I was using the Urban Decay De-Slick Mini setting spray, and I don't know where that is, not De-Slick, sorry, All Nighter, but today I'll use the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. They just sent me a new bottle of this. This and the All Nighter are my two favorite setting sprays of all time. Ooh. They changed the mister a little bit. I feel like it's a bit more aggressive. So if you have an oilier skin type and you have a good setting spray that you like, I definitely recommend putting down a little setting spray first in between all of your steps, even if you want to go as far as to do that, because it really just helps with the longevity. Then for my primer, like I said, I do switch up my primer quite a bit. Kind of depends on how long I want my makeup to wear. Am I going for something more glowy? Do I want it to be more matte? So today I'm using the new Fenty mattifying primer. If you saw my video, I put this up against the original formula, and I do find it to be mattifying, and I am going to be leaving the house today. I'm actually going to go, I have an event, so I want my makeup to look good, but I'm actually going to walk to the event and walk back, so I'm always trying to get my steps in. So I want to give myself a little bit of matteness, and you'll notice when this primer goes on your skin, I was a little bit scared of it in my review because I was like, oh, it doesn't mattify right away, but I do find it helps keep the oils at bay. And I'm not going to do it today, and I did mention it in this review, but if you do have a super oily skin type, I recommend putting a little bit of powder at this step. A little bit of a loose powder with on your damp sponge really helps with makeup longevity. It doesn't get cakey, just use a smidge of product and it makes a world of difference. I'm not going to do it today because I haven't had to do it lately. My face is not as oily, but the product that I cannot stop using and I love so much, I did a full review on this, is the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer. So if you have a super oily skin type, this may not be for you, but I also feel like if you prep your skin appropriately, then this could work for you. As I mentioned in my review of this, you get 1.9 ounces of product in here, which is about double the size of your average foundation. So it's a high-end price, but you're getting a ton of product in there, so the price per ounce actually isn't too bad on it, but obviously you still need to like pay that price up front, but just something to keep in mind. And I have been meaning to look into if the soft matte tinted moisturizer is going to be discontinued, because a lot of you like that too, but then some people said it was being discontinued, so I've been meaning to send them an email, so let me know. Using a sponge with this, it's my EcoTool sponge. I have used a brush with this as well, and I do have a full dedicated review on this, but I just can't get enough of it. It's good skin in a bottle. And I was really scared because although my skin isn't as oily as it was, it still gets really sweaty. So I wear this, like I put this on yesterday for a video I was filming, and then like early mid-morning kind of, and then I wore it to an event at 11, and then I was like, I took a nap in the afternoon, and then I went to another event at 6, and I touched up my face, but it still looked good. So even though it says it's radiant, I don't find it to be like super greasy or slippy slidey, especially if you want to put just like a smidge of powder underneath it. And if you have any acne scarring or anything that you're looking to cover up, like I'm doing quite a light layer of this, just do a little spot concealing after the fact. But I like it because I can let my freckles show through. Sometimes with this look I'll do concealer, sometimes I won't. If I am what am I trying to say? Whether or not I'm doing concealer, I'll always use a brightening powder under my eyes, and that's a recommendation I have for you if you don't want to wear concealer because, for example, you have freckles like me, or you just don't want to wear concealer. I find a nice brightening powder under the eyes gives me that little bit of brightness, as opposed to putting my face powder all over my face, especially if I'm using a tinted powder like I am today. But I am going to do a little bit of concealer, just a smidge and just right in the corner, and I'm still addicted to the Too Faced Born This Way. There's tons of other concealers out there that I like, and like yesterday when I wore this look, what concealer did I wear yesterday? I think yesterday I wore the newish CoverGirl concealer, so there's other ones that I like, but I'm like, if I had to choose, it's this guy. And again, this is another product that comes with a ton of actual product inside of it. You're getting half a fluid ounce, which is half the size of a foundation. So tons of product in there if you do end up loving it as much as I do. And I really like it because it has a creamy texture, but it still has good coverage, but it's still very long wearing. And I'm using my Real Techniques setting, what do they call this? Setting brush, right? Yeah, this is like my #1 concealer brush. I cannot find a substitute, and I don't want to find a substitute for it. It's just perfect. And I didn't really let that set under my eyes a lot because I'm not trying to get a ton of coverage, just a smidge of brightness. This is by no means a necessity, but definitely something, I mean, none of this is a necessity, but this is something I've been reaching for a lot because I can't get over how pretty it is, and it's expensive, but my goodness, she is so pretty. It is the Guerlain terracotta bronzing, or not bronzing, highlighting stick in gold, and it is just so pretty. It's just something, it just melts into the skin so beautifully. Even when you put powder over it, it's still glowy. There's no shimmer, it doesn't add any texture on the skin, but a ton of glow, and I feel like you could wear it with no makeup. Like, it's just such a gorgeous product. I've been loving a really like peachy bright cheek lately, so I'm gonna put on just a little bit of cream blush here. This is a Nude Sticks Nudies Bloom in Poppy Girl. And I was doing actually not a lot of cream contouring, but I was contouring quite a bit with the Nudies matte stick or whatever it is from Nude Sticks, but I couldn't find it. So it's not like essential to the look, so I'm just gonna pass over it. But I can really find, now that I'm starting to find cream products that actually work for my skin, or they've just kind of had better formulas over the years, I've really been enjoying incorporating them into my routine. I'll link one of my most recent, I did a full coverage foundation routine, which I will link to down below. And then I did another like foundation routine that's a little bit more like medium to full coverage, but it used a bunch of creams. So I'll link that below. For my under eyes, to set them, I found a new powder. I'm gonna untuck my hair here. I found a new powder that I really like for the under eyes. I bought this at Ulta when I was in Buffalo a little while back. It is from Makeup Revolution, and it is their Bake and Blot powder in Banana. Again, this was one that I traveled with, and it's a really nice powder. Super affordable. There's not a ton of under eye powders that I really enjoy, honestly, so I like this one. To set my face, I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin. I forgot the name of it there. I did a full review on this. I'm gonna wear Y425 today to set my face, and the thing I like about this is that it adds a little bit of coverage and a little bit of longevity to a lighter, still long wearing product, but I just really love the combination of a tinted moisturizer with a powder foundation. And if you wanted to, before you put on the powders, you could set your face with the setting spray again. I have done that in the past. Love this powder foundation. I have a full review on it. It's super smoothing, and I feel like the colors of it, it's interesting because in my review you'll see that it goes on kind of light and then melds into my skin as the day goes on. And yesterday by accident I wore Y245, which is like many shades below mine, and I was like, man, this looks really light on my skin, and I didn't realize till just then I wore the wrong shade. I think I put a little bit of the darker shade over it, but it just kind of melted in my skin, but you can still get good coverage out of it. I don't know, it's interesting, but it's a beautiful powder foundation. And I'm trying not to chat too much. Oh my god, I'm struggling because sometimes I get too chatty in these videos, but I also want to give you tips and stuff. But this is in general a very quick look for me, especially if I'm not talking. I'm gonna use Benefit Caramel, it's caramel, right? Caramel bronzer. This and the Fenty one, I'd say I've been wearing the most lately. And I do have blog posts on the Fenty bronzers. I've got the whole collection swatched along with the Fenty bronzers swatched next to some other popular bronzers that I have if you're still trying to figure out your shade in that. So I'll link to that down below. But right now I've been enjoying this Benefit one. It's just super warm and super golden-y. Super pigmented and powdery though, so just keep that in mind. I have overdone it a time or two, which may actually be today. Just gonna take my lighter powder that I have left over here because I think I over bronzed slightly. This is what I had the Banana powder on. Now for blush, I debated talking about something else, and I did use a drugstore alternative for this in a recent Get Ready With Me, which I will link to down below, but truthfully, this is the blush I've been reaching for nonstop, and it has become the replacement that I needed for the Balm Swiss Dot in terms of color and longevity. It is the Buxom Wanderlust blush in Mykonos. It is primer infused, and I feel like it really does last very long, and the color is just perfection. So if I'm being honest, this is what I wear. Actually, I have been reaching for that other one a lot. I've been using a lot of the Cover FX Duo blush in Soft Peach. So I haven't reached for this one as much lately, but I'm like, if I had to put together a bag that I would travel with, and this is kind of definitely what I was using in my routine the most, but then I'm like, okay, I have to switch it up. I have to be able to tell you about new stuff. Actually going a little bit out of order because I am going to show you an eye look I've been doing a ton lately, but I'm going to just highlight now because then I want to set my face. This is the e.l.f. Baked Highlighter, yeah, in Apricot Glow. And then I've talked about their baked eyeshadow before in Enchanted Gold, I think it is. Both gorgeous, and I've been wearing these a ton. I think I either traveled with this or the e.l.f. eyeshadow because it's like small and compact, and I know it's not going to break, and it's beautiful. And don't forget, like, if you feel like things are not melding and stuff, just go back in with your powder brush and kind of blend things together. I find sometimes going back over your highlighter with a little blush just blends them together. Or you can even do your highlighter first. I just do it in that order out of habit, really. So before I move into my eyes, I'm actually gonna set my face just because sometimes I forget and then I go to set my face when I have fresh mascara on, it makes a mess. So I will say, with this new makeup for, oh, I just ate it. I feel like the mist is a little bit less misty than it once was. It definitely soaks you a bit, which I feel like I got good coverage and it didn't leave splotches on my face, which is the most important part, but just hold it back when you go to use it. For my brows, literally nothing has changed here. Benefit 24-hour brow setter. I've more or less completely stopped filling in my brows now since I've been getting them threaded, just because I don't want to fill them in. And I don't ever wear like super heavy makeup, and I love the way they look threaded. Like, I truly cannot believe the difference threading and waxing makes. Like, I've been getting my eyebrows waxed since grade 8, which was many moons ago, and I always liked my brows, but my god, the threading, so crazy what a difference it makes. So I'm gonna go ahead and move you in, and I will be priming my eyes with the Fenty Pro Filter eyeshadow primer. I really like this one if you do have oily eyelids like myself. So for my eyes, I cannot get enough of the ColourPop Sweet Talk palette. I actually just purchased the new yellow and orange one, so hopefully that comes shortly. But I've basically just been reaching for a few of the mattes out of this palette. So I'm gonna start with this one here, which is Meadow. And I really love this palette. Like, it's just, I really love the ColourPop palettes. The Yes Please was one I reached for all the time. Can you turn off your alarm, please, bub? I'm filming. Hello? Yeah, I'm filming. Oh, I had noise canceling headphones on. I'm filming. Just, I won't be that much longer. And I'm looking really shiny right now, but I will show you how I deal with that. So I just kind of take this color through the crease, a little bit in the corner. Really, really gorgeous palette. I'll link to the other tutorial I did with this down below. It uses some of the shimmers. And I take it a little bit on the lower lash line too. Nothing crazy. Then with the same brush, I'm gonna take West Side and put this a little bit more in the outer corner. And this is the kind of look that, like, it can get really deep or just be a little more cash. But I just really like the shades. It's just easy. It's not complicated, but effective. And then on my lid, I'm gonna take this shade here, which is what? ICYMI, in case you missed it. I'm so old. Like, what is that that the kids are saying? Is that one of those TikToks? Yeah, and then I just put this on my lid and that's that. And I'll take whatever highlighter I'm using and put that in my inner corner. And otherwise, I'll do no eyeshadow, or sometimes I'll just take my bronzer, put that in my crease, and a little bit of highlighter in the corner. I'm actually gonna pass on the liner today. Like I said, I have been wearing liner a good bit lately, but I've been loving the Too Faced and Benefit ones. I just got sent a new L'Oreal one, which I'm gonna have to try. But speaking of L'Oreal, I'm gonna be using their Voluminous Base plus the Unlimited Mascara. You know this combination has been my life. More recently, however, I have been loving the Too Faced Damn Girl Mascara and the new basically Rimmel version of it, well, similar packaging, the Rimmel Wonder Luxe Volume. Those have been my other two favorite mascaras right now. Those are what I've been using lately. I'm kind of a little bit late to getting around to this routine, so this was like, this mascara combination was what I was really heavy on like a month ago, for like the few months prior to that. Not that I don't still love it, but just the nature of the game is I need to move on to new things. But I come back to this primer, man. Honestly, this and the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter have yet to be replaced for me. There's other things where I can swap out and stuff, like similar to the, maybe I should do a video on that, similar to the oh god, I can't talk. I shouldn't have done both lashes at the same time. I wasn't paying attention. Similar to the Real Techniques brush, but I don't know any other products in the three of those that can't be replaced for me. It's like if I don't have them and I want an eyelash primer and I don't have my L'Oreal one, I'm like, no. It's just so good. Actually, I've tested other couple drugstore ones that were good. The L'Oreal one is definitely the best, like, and I compared it to the Dior and I was like, the Dior has nothing on the L'Oreal one. The primer is really good and it's really cheap. It's like it's one of those products that's been around forever and the price just has stayed the same. I think on Amazon Canada it's like under $7 sometimes. I've seen it for like $5. Especially if you live in the States, it's a great addition if you're not a lash wearer really like myself. Like, look at those lashes. Like I said, in my inner corner I'm just going to put a little bit of the highlighter. You could leave it just matte if you wanted. I don't ever highlight my brow bone really, it's just not my thing. Then after setting spray, I like to powder again because I find setting spray can really make you look shiny even if it is locking things in place. So to do that, I'm gonna use my CoverGirl Outlast All Day. This is one of my favorite powders of all time. People do not talk about it enough. It's incredibly mattifying. It's a great touch-up powder. It's a great setting powder. Oh, I just swallowed a little bit of it. I'm ingesting a lot of makeup today. And yeah, it's great for the purse. It's just a really incredible powder and it has very little color in it. Like, it looks very light in there, but it doesn't really show up on the skin. I think you could use this too to set your primer under your foundation. I've never tried it, but generally I reach for loose. My favorite for that is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Matte. So yeah, I just kind of want to mattify like right here in the center because I know it's going to oil itself up again. So I'm going to take the oiliness down a little. And lastly for lips, I'm using the Burt's Bees liquid lipstick. This formula and the shades in this line are so good. And again, another product that I feel does not get enough love. And what's interesting to me is I would never buy this shade. I would buy the lipsticks, but I would never buy the shade if I was to like walk into a store and see it here. And that's a big reason why I like PR. A lot of people have issues with PR and, you know, we don't need to get into it. But for me, it really introduces me to products that I wouldn't have necessarily tried myself. And then there are things that I fall in love with. And then I can spread the word to you and be like, hey, PS, like the Physicians Formula Foundation, would have never tried it. That became my favorite for months and months and months. And so many of you tried and were like, oh my God, I didn't expect to like that. I'm like, me either. So anyways, Flushed Petal. It's a beautiful shade. You can wear a lip liner with it. I don't know if I do generally or not. I think I do, but I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. If I do wear a lip liner with it, it'll be ColourPop BFF3 generally, or the new Obvi shade. But yeah, something about it, this shade is really gorgeous. It's just an interesting pink that I would have never thought to reach for. And I love the way it looks because it's like a little bit warm but not too corally and orangey, but it's still a really nice complement to the eye look. And it's just great on its own too for lighter makeup days. And it's not a liquid lipstick that dries down. It's kind of like a liquefied lipstick. Really, really comfortable. So here you have it. That is my finished look. This is definitely what I've been reaching for months and months. As I mentioned, super long wearing, really, really great products individually and together. So I hope you enjoyed this and learned a little bit of something from it as well. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.